Am I the asshole for asking my parents to pay for my car's registration this year?
Okay.
I, 28, have had my license medically suspended for the 15 months. In that time, my parents have used my car to get to work, go do errands, etc., etc. I have not driven that car at all during these 15 months. I have a family of 7 adults living under the same roof with only 4 cars. 2 belong to my parents, 1 belongs to my sister, and the other 1 belongs to me. I got my car registration bill a few weeks ago, and I asked my parents to pay for the registration this year because my car has essentially been theirs for a year. It makes sense to me that they'd pay it, but when I brought it up, they scoffed and called me entitled. They said they were putting no money towards the payment whatsoever.
Okay.
They got really upset with me. They do only drive it around town, so it's not like they've gone on any day trips or anything, but my car has been a huge help for them.
Yeah.
One of the main things is that it's made it where my mom doesn't have to be dropped off at 6 a.m. for her 8 a.m. shifts because of how everyone's schedules work for jobs and school.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely surprised that they got this mad at me. Is this something I shouldn't expect my parents to do? I'm on a deducted salary while I figure this medical stuff out, so it's not like I want to pay $200 for something I don't even use. Yeah. Edit. So I don't keep getting asked. My car is fully paid off by me. I pay insurance on it. I am the sole owner. I pay rent, buy my own groceries, and contribute to the house's groceries. My monthly expenses that go to the house are around $400 to $550 depending on the month. There are factors in which the cost changes. I cook all my own food. I do the necessary chores for the house as well as my own space. I acknowledge that I am getting a deal by living with my parents. Rent where I live is $1,800 on average for a single apartment.
Where are you?
Bad news, Orlando.
Honestly, Orlando. Yeah, you're right. Damn.
Don't. Yeah,
Damn,
we're lucky. You and I.
I know.
We gotta go. Yeah.
But that's wild.
Yeah. Rent where I live is $1,800 on average for a single apartment, but the house is being split by 7 adults. My parents do pay more at the end of the day, as it is their house. We are basically considered renters by my mom's own words. As for the 4-car situation, my sister is the sole user of her car, and my brother/a girlfriend uses the 2 cars my parents own because they don't own cars.
Okay.
Using my car is simply because there aren't enough cars to go around. If I was working, they'd have to figure out how to use the 2 cars again, which is going to be an issue in the near future. My parents are allowed to drive it without being an issue with insurance. I don't remember exactly what was done, but they had to register as me having a medical issue, so they were temporary users or something like that. It's been over a year since they did that. I don't remember the specifics, but they are able to drive it in the eyes of insurance. I have a great relationship with my parents, which is why this reaction came to me as a surprise. They are great people in case this point made them sound otherwise. A detail that was also made in the comments, someone asked, like, how often do they use the car not for medical reasons?
Yeah.
Apparently, like, 80% of the time, they use it for non-medical reasons. The car.
The parents?
The parents, yeah.
Okay.
And 20%, I assume, is the medical reasons for
OP.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of a way to do this that isn't... I think, okay, this is a very King Solomon-ass take.
Yeah.
Cut the car down the middle. I'm joking. I think what you should do is pay the $200 and then not let them use the car.
I read the title and it intrigued me. So we're both going into this
completely
blinders.
Okay.
We have no idea.
Let's do it.
So this is coming from AITA, 4 months old, titled, Am I the asshole for pretending to think beans in chili are woke to prank my cousin who is obsessed with being anti-woke and who loves chili? My cousin is known for making chili, and he's good at it. He makes his own chili flakes from his secret combination of various dried chilies, and it has a very nice kick. It's like the perfect amount of spice. It's hot, but not too hot. He also always adds kidney beans, not canned beans either. Anyways, for the past 2 or 3 years, my cousin has become obsessed with all this bullshit about what is or isn't woke and how woke things are the end of the world. He's always been a good dude, so I don't know what his bag is, but he is completely obsessed. It's annoying. So the other weekend, I was at his place and he was making his famous chili. So I got the idea for a little prank. I was like, quote, I'm surprised you still put beans in your chili. He was like, what? Why? I was like, beans and chili are so woke. Everyone is saying so. He was like, what do you mean? And he was genuinely concerned. as if this was something serious. I said something like, quote, yeah, beans and chili are woke. The original conservative Texans who made chili only used meat and chili. San Francisco liberals started adding beans to the chili in the 60s because so many hippies were vegetarian. Now all the woke scientists are saying beans are a better protein source than meat.
I'm obsessed with whoever this is. Like, I'm obsessed.
He didn't say anything to that. I kind of just assumed he would know I was fucking with him and get the joke. We've always fucked around with each other and jokes about all of that. But he was quiet all dinner. Just yesterday, I was back again at his place and he was making chili again. There were no beans. It was a totally different chili. This guy has been making his chili with beans for like 15 years. I was like, what's up? Where's the beans? He was like, quote, I don't fuck with that woke shit. I was like, what? He was like, beans and chili are woke. Even you know that. Everyone else was like, what? Because ... What? I was like, dude, I was just fucking with you. He got really angry. He dumped his chili in the sink and told everyone to go home. I thought he was pranking me back or something, but no, he was serious. The dude totally lost it. He texted me later and said this exact thing. Quote, I researched this online and it turns out you really were lying to me. Beans are not woke. How could you do this? We went back and forth for a little bit. His position is even though we have historically pranked each other, I went too far, that I betrayed him, that I made him question his chili. I tried to ask him if this at all made him think he cared too much about woke. Like, what if beans in chili was woke? So what? He ignored that and demanded I apologize. Did I take this too far?
Am I the asshole for not taking down my yard flamingos after neighbors complained?
Hell yeah, dude. This is a good one. Let's go.
I bought a house a couple years ago and I have been working on making it look nicer. I spent a lot of time redoing the front gardens, trying to make it neat and nice.
Mm-hmm.
A few weeks ago, was at a greenhouse buying some plants for the garden, and I saw 2 yard flamingos marked down on clearance. I knew they belonged to my garden. They're not everyone's cup of tea, but I think they're a lot of fun.
This is a very specific type of person, and I like that you know that about yourself.
Yeah.
That's good.
I set them up when I got home, and a couple days later, my neighbor was knocking on my door. She was demanding I take down my flamingos because they're extremely gauche and lowering the property value of the neighborhood.
I'd move here, but that person has flamingos in their front
I'm trying
yard.
to sell my house, but for some reason, $100,000 was taken off the list price when those 2 pink flamingos.
Oh, they got flamingos over there. I'll do $50K less.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
I told her I am not taking them down because I like them, and the property value isn't going to be hurt by 2 yard flamingos.
Yeah.
I also don't live in an HOA, and as far as I'm aware, there are no town ordinances about yard flamingos, LOL. She has posted pictures of my house, the street I live on, and a close-up of my flamingos in our town's Facebook group to complain about them.
Is she old? Is she old?
I don't know. I have no ages given.
In my head canon, she's old, and I love it when old people do crime.
Yes,
which is doxing this woman.
Yeah.
Because on accident, because she doesn't know what doxing is.
All right. Yeah.
Push her over.
Push her over.
Push her over, man.
Let's go.
Push this lady over.
Some people agreed I should take them down. After that, another neighbor came over to tell me to get rid of them.
Push him over.
My mom also agreed I should take them down to keep the peace with my neighbor. Push her over.
Push your mother over.
I like them. I smile when I see them. When I pull into my driveway, I have no plans to take them down. Am I the asshole for not taking down my yard flamingos after some neighbors complained? Edit. Everyone keeps suggesting garden gnomes. I kind of hate those a lot. But also, I'd never say anything to someone with a yard full of gnomes, but I won't buy them.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, they're accepting.
Say, gotta buy them a friend, which is the garden gnomes.
Am I the asshole for borrowing my neighbor's patio furniture for a party? Everyone involved is in their 50s. I hosted a big backyard get-together last weekend for my wife's birthday, about 30 people. We live in a suburban neighborhood where most houses have good-sized yards. Everyone in the neighborhood has a friendly relationship, but not necessarily super close.
Okay.
My next-door neighbor, named Glenn, travels a lot for work. His backyard is really nice patio furniture, umbrellas, propane fire pit, etc. I've complimented it before and helped him haul the furniture in once during a storm, so I feel like we're on good terms. He also has borrowed shovels, rakes, etc. we've had in the yard when we weren't home, letting us know later.
You can't take shit without asking. It don't be mattering. None of this is...
No problem. No biggie.
Oh my god, okay. Yeah.
The day before the party, I realized we didn't have enough seating. Rental companies were all booked. First nice weekend of spring here.
Yeah, that's not Glenn's fucking problem, bro.
We didn't want people standing around. Glenn was out of town, car gone, lights were off for days, and his gate was unlocked. I figured it wouldn't be a huge deal to temporarily move a few of his chairs and one of his smaller tables into our yard for the party to be returned as soon as possible. We took care not to damage anything, wiped it all down afterwards, and put it back exactly where it was the next morning. Or so I thought, must not have been exactly where, though, for what follows. I don't think anything of it. Monday, Glenn knocked on my door looking pissed. He asked if we'd taken his stuff.
He has, if it were Sarah Law, he's going to be well within his rights to...
Monday, Glenn knocked on my door looking pissed. He asked if we'd taken his stuff. I told him we had, explained why, emphasizing that nothing was harmed. Because I like your furniture. Explained why, emphasized that nothing was harmed, and that obviously we would have asked if he was home.
And I went into your house and I in there too. I fried up just like a big pot of oil and then I threw it down all your drains. That's what I did.
I figured if you were here, you'd be cool with it. I figured
since you borrowed my rake once, I could do all this stuff.
And I told him we had, explained why, emphasized that nothing was harmed, and that obviously we would have asked if he was home.
Glenn stabbed me 16 times in the neck. I don't get why. Am I...
Why are you guys laughing so much? Why are you guys having fun with your lives? He told me that was completely out of line, and I quote, a massive invasion of his property, even though nothing was broken/missing. I tried to smooth things over, said it wasn't like we were strangers and that if the roles were reversed, as in the past with things he's borrowed when we weren't around, I wouldn't have cared. He said, I'm the good person here, actually.
I'm perfectly fine.
He said that it was irrelevant and now he doesn't want us on his property at all. My wife and I think he's being dramatic, but obviously he's upset for a reason, so maybe there's something I'm not seeing.
Am I the asshole for expressing my disgust at a dish for my girlfriend's culture?
I find this one interesting from the perspective of I read the title and I was like,
no,
I don't know. This is I looked at my skin color and I was like, this isn't one for me. This is it. I think I should. Yeah. I looked in the mirror, double checked, and I was like, yeah, no, I shouldn't be the one speaking on this.
I just was interested in what dish, because maybe I've had it, and maybe fair. He's being a baby about it. You know?
But is it like? Is it like I was like fettuccine Alfredo or something?
That
like
would
some
be
sort of
so
Italian.
funny.
and you were like, oh, Italian? Hold on a second.
That'd be so good.
I can do this.
I won't have fettuccine Alfredo. I'm going to go make mac and cheese. My 27 male girlfriend, 24 female, is Brazilian. And since we got together, she's been introducing me to her country's cuisine.
Okay.
And I've loved everything she's made and that I've tried so far. But last night she took me to a Brazilian steakhouse. And at some point she asked the waiter for a dish that they didn't serve here. But apparently it's a staple in Brazilian barbecues. It was only later she explained to me that she was asking for chicken hearts. And because they didn't have it, she later told me she would try to find it in the Brazilian store she usually goes to and make it at home. But I told her not to bother and that I wasn't interested in trying it. She couldn't understand why I wasn't interested, so I told her that the whole idea of eating chicken hearts sounded a bit icky. That's the word I remember saying. She later said I told her it was quote-unquote disgusting. So I can't be sure, but the intention is the same anyway. And she got really upset and told me about how eating organs is not unusual in many cultures and that even if I didn't want to try it, framing it as disgusting was disrespectful on my part. But I only said anything because she kept pushing for an explanation. So I don't know what she expected me to do. To lie? I have personal experience, not because I've eaten chicken hearts before, but I you know, and this is maybe crazy, but like as this is crazy to white people maybe, but like it's probably really good.